And what I mean by that is they are ruining the morale, the culture, and the customer experience for the entire shop.
Welcome to the Business and Pleasure of Flowers. We're your hosts, Vonda Lefevre
and Lori Wilson, and we believe that business and fun are a perfect combination. Kind of like us, Vonda. When I see other podcasters, of course, they're always wearing headphones, which we do not. Does it look better?
Official, Lori.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Good
morning. How are you?
Cheers. Oh, you're drinking coffee. I'm on my walk.
Oh, you're on your. Well, I've got water over there, but
I don't think I need any more coffee.
How was your weekend?
Absolutely gorgeous weekend. Absolutely. The weather.
Don't rub it in. It was awful here. It was rainy and gross.
Really? We need rain. I wish we had some rain, but no, it was an absolutely perfect weekend.
Yeah. So a little Lenny update. So we had a doctor's appointment last week, just normal, got to go to the doctor to get your medications refilled. And skinny Lenny is losing weight.
That's not good. He's
lost 4 pounds in like the last 6 months, which that's not good when you only weigh 134 pounds. Anyway, so we're trying to, kind of figure that out. He feels fine, but again, 91. Yeah. And so we're trying to monitor that. Anyway, I'm telling you that because there is a chance I might have gone to Chili's twice within 24 hours.
Well, that's your favorite Chili's that has the best customer service.
It is our favorite spot.
Okay.
It's our favorite spot, and we love our customer service at the Chili's, and he will eat there. And we still have to get his own extra little bowls because the man is a double dipper. And he will look me straight in the eye when I tell him to stop double dipping and just dip it in defiance. He's a defiant double dipper. And he's just funny.
That's good. I mean, he ate really well then.
He ate pretty well. So we always split something because it is a lot of food, but we'll split. Like he loves chicken strips, chicken fingers, whatever. So we'll get those. And anyway, so at this point, whatever he'll eat, we order. It doesn't matter what.
It's interesting because at that age, it's that whatever they'll eat, let them eat. Because I remember a friend of mine, her daughter would not eat anything. And she said the only thing she wants to eat are popsicles. And she went to the doctor, her pediatrician, and she was having this thing. And he's like, if she only eats popsicles, let her eat popsicles. Whatever she'll eat.
Yep.
Like, but it's not good for her.
Yep.
If she'll eat once, same thing. You don't think of that.
Well, that's exactly the same thing. Same thing. And I keep asking my daughter, who, is a dietitian in a hospital and deals with patients all the time. And I keep asking her, like, all these questions about, like, he had this and he had onion rings. She's like, Mom, he's 91. Whatever the man wants to eat, let him eat it. It doesn't matter. Just as long as he's eating and drinking, we're good. We're fine. Okay. So anyway, I laughed because I'm like, I cannot believe I've come back to Chili's and it's not even been 24. We were there for early dinner or supper, as he calls it. And then I brought him back after church on Sunday for lunch.
That's okay.
So it is. Yeah. We got different things.
That's kind of a segue because that's kind of a hard truth, Lori.
Yeah, it is a hard truth. And that's what we're talking about today. I was telling you last week something that I was seeing on TikTok.
I wasn't seeing it on TikTok.
You weren't seeing it on there, but one of the trends, I guess you could call it, and it was what I would say to you if I knew I wouldn't hurt your feelings. And it comes from the point of view of maybe a school teacher. It's like what I would say to parents about their child if I knew I wouldn't hurt your feelings, or a therapist, what I would say to my patient if I knew I wouldn't hurt their feelings, or, fill in the blank. And I like these videos because I'm like, "Hey, tell me a truth. Tell me the truth. I can handle it. I wanna learn this about myself." And so I was sharing that with you, and I was like, "We should do this." Like, as who we are, Flower Click, what would you say, Vonda, if you knew you wouldn't hurt their feelings, what would you say to a flower shop
Oh,
owner?
I have several,
I know you do. I know you do, but we had to
but I don't
dwindle
have a
it
lot because
down.
I think I can tell most flower shop owners one-on-one this information. Number 1 is you have to be aware of the financial situation of your shop on a regular basis, not once a year when you go to the accountant and they say you have to do this. It's interesting because 80% of business owners are designers. And we have the Derek Zakis, who isn't a designer, but he's a heck of a business owner. And we have a lot.
Mhm.
Yep.
For glazing,
And then we
florist,
have a
administrative, yeah.
lot of our Flower Click members and a lot of people I know who are designers who own flower shops. 80% of those designers know nothing about the numbers in their shop. And they admit it. They say, "Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know anything about that. That just gives me a headache. It just makes me crazy." And my words to them would be, "You have to know." And that's the hard truth.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is they don't have to do that all themselves. They just have to get somebody who can do that for them, right? And I feel bad when people say, I don't know my numbers and I'm embarrassed about that. Don't be embarrassed. One, don't be embarrassed, right?
Yeah.
Hard truth.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
embarrassed. Just have somebody help
Yeah.
you on a weekly or monthly or however it needs to be. But I suggest at least once a month, do a check in. How are your cost of goods? What are your payroll numbers look like? How are those overall expenses looking? So that's my reality is just make sure you know. You don't have to do it yourself. Don't give yourself a headache because I know, Lori, that would give you a headache.
It would give me a headache. It would give me okay, so your number 1 hard truth, if you knew that you wouldn't hurt their feelings in 1 sentence is what?
Know the financial situation at your shop at all times so you can make corrections when necessary.
At all
Yeah.
times, like weekly.
Mhm.
Weekly, right? Okay,
What's
that's what
yours?
alright, here's mine, and I feel I'm second guessing how I wrote this because I feel like
Okay.
mine's a little more harsh. Keep in mind, you and I talk to a lot
Yes, we
of
do.
flower shop owners, a lot, and I talk to a lot of
Yeah, I
employees
talk to the shop owners. You
because
talk
of
to more
sales.
employees.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I talk to a lot of employees. Okay. Here's my number 1. Team is not the problem. Your leadership is likely the problem. If your team is confused, overwhelmed, there is chaos and inconsistency, that is not a people problem. That is a clarity problem from the top down.
okay. That is absolutely the truth. Absolutely. True.
Yes. And I hear over and over and over from frustrated shop owners about the inconsistency and the frustration and all of these kind of things. And just sit back and I start asking them, what kind of meetings do you have? What kind of one-on-ones do you have? How many team meetings do you have? What's the dynamic? All of these things. And when I start getting the answers, that's where I start hearing
Yeah.
the chaos.
Wow.
I start hearing the chaos there. 50%, this is research from like a Gallup poll, 50% of employees strongly agree that they know what's expected
Mhm.
of them at work. Only
50%.
50.
Only
So
wow.
50%. So there's a huge that's
Right.
only half,
Right.
right? So, for example, this is gonna show up in how your team answers the phone, how your team knows about pricing, right? How designers are overstuffing. Designers could interpret what does premium mean as opposed to standard
Yeah.
deluxe premium, like all of that. When your team is all over the place, it's usually because clarity is not
True.
happening, and that is a management problem.
Yes, I would agree.
So, now you
Okay,
go back.
my next one would be when you have something on your to-do list for more than 3 months and it's not getting finished, either take it off the damn list or put it at the top and get it done.
Oh. You mean quit moving it over to the next day on the Google Calendar like
Yes.
I do?
Well, the one I hear all the time is,
I don't
and
do
I
that.
know our Donna hears this all the time, is that we don't need flower click because we're doing our own images and we're
Oh,
gonna take pictures and we're gonna get them on the website. We're gonna do recipes, we're gonna do the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So don't call us. Okay. And then honestly, we look because we're excited. We're like, okay, we'd like to see what you come up with. 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and it's not done. And
yeah,
either just don't say you're gonna do something. If you love what
yeah,
you have on the website from whoever your provider is, great. If not, and
right.
you're planning on doing it, do it. Especially, I mean, you got holiday coming up. If you have that on your list that you wanna get done for Mother's Day, you should have it done by the end of this week, period. And that's it.
Yeah,
I just get so
yeah,
frustrated when people say, "Oh, no, we're gonna do our own." Really? Are you
yeah,
really?
yeah,
And that's
right.
mine.
Oh, that's a good one, and that kind of segues into my number 3, so I'm gonna push my number
Okay.
3 up to my number 2, so we can merge the 2. So, my hard truth was you are too busy working in your shop to actually grow your
Yep.
shop, grow your business. So you may be your best designer and all of these things are so great, but your business isn't growing. That's not a flex to go, "Oh, I'm the best designer. I have to do all of this." Well, that's great, but your business is going to close because even though you love to design, you have to put your business hat on because you decided to
Right.
open a business and you have to do the business side, especially if, like you said, you're not going to hire Flower Click or hire, whatever. I don't know who else they would hire besides us, but to do all of the other things. So this is one of the biggest traps for florists or flower shop owners. You're needed in production, so you stay there. You're needed to on the phone because you don't trust the new girl answers the phone because you heard her and you about fell out of your chair. So you or the biggest thing that you and I know is they feel like no one can do it like I do, or my
Mhm.
customers just want me to.
They want my
They just
designs, they
want
want
me.
me to answer the phone, and so I just need to stay right here where I am,
Yeah.
and I'll just take care of this. And
Yes.
it's a safe spot
Yes.
for them.
Right.
So, what you're saying is,
Right.
the truth is, if you wanna grow, you gotta get outside your comfort zone, and you have to do something or hire somebody else to do it for you.
Or hire somebody else to do it. And I think we've talked about this a million times, when you hire someone to do all of these things and you're doing it along with them, they can't just do it separate. It's not a siloed thing where you're separate because you have to communicate. Once you have that balance, it does afford you the liberties of being able to step in and do design every once in a while when you want to. And boy, how grateful you are and how fun, because you realize, "Oh my gosh, I love this so
It
much."
it allows you to get back to
And
doing what you
when you
love to do, you know, for sure.
right,
Yeah.
right. So that's mine. You get too busy doing it all, but you forget to grow your business, so it just
What is it
stays
that they used to
stagnant.
say? You're doing too many things that none of them are you're doing well, because you're dividing yourself too
Mhm.
much.
Well, I think what they said is you're doing everything
That's true,
half-assed.
that's better, Lord, I like that better.
It's half-assed.
Yes.
Half-assed, it's all
Okay,
half-assed, so
this is my
alright.
final one. I only have this one, but this is the
Okay.
biggest one to me.
Okay,
Don't
I'm
let
ready.
your employees make the business decisions for your shop. hands down.
Amen.
Hands down. And it kind of goes with your first one that, the owner needs to make the decision. It starts at the top. And we need to listen to our employees. We have to have an open ear and listen. But when it comes down to things like deciding how to price your designs and whether you should put a labor charge on them or not have a labor charge on them, how much you should have for a delivery charge, how much things should be, business decisions need to be made at the top, and the decision needs to go down through all the employees, designers, people at the front room, whoever you have on your sales staff, that from the top. And if you don't want to follow what I have set aside for what I should be pricing things, fire their butts. Get them out of there. You can't
Right.
allow an employee to run your business and make business decisions that you're not making money because of them. Yeah. I
Yeah.
have had calls, Lori, that I actually wake up in the middle of the night and I want to make a call to that employee and say, Do you know what the heck you're doing to that business? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Anyway,
And I would say they would say, "I
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
do know what I'm doing.
yeah.
I'm running that shop."
They're running
Yeah.
the shop, but they
Uh,
don't have the financial responsibility nor
No, they're doing whatever the hell they want. I mean, so my number 2
okay.
aligns with yours, but I just wrote it a little differently. You're holding on to the wrong people for way too
Amen,
long.
sister. Yes.
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
same thing. So, if one of your employees is bringing the whole room down, it does not matter one iota how talented they are. I don't care if they're the most
Mhm.
phenomenal designer you've ever had. They are too expensive for you to keep. And what I mean by that is they are ruining the morale, the culture, and the customer experience for the entire
Yep.
shop. One of our presentations we did, I think it was Texas State, where we talked about the word toxic employee. And I said, I feel like we throw that word around a lot. Oh, that's toxic. But, you know, toxic is a heavy word. Like you, as the business owner, need to be really aware, is this employee really toxic, meaning they are infecting the entire culture of my business, or are they just having a few bad days? Like,
There is
there's
definitely
a
a right.
difference, right? You need to know that. We've all had a few
Mhm.
bad days
Mhm.
for sure, but you need to know the difference. But one toxic team member can reduce overall performance, increase turnover rate, just destroy a business, and you and I have both seen
Boy,
this
have we not.
happen,
Yes.
and it's incredible to watch, and, I understand all business owners have their own story, but it blows my mind when they keep
As you were
this
saying that,
person
it
on.
it came down to this, what I just wrote down. Expect respect. We
Mhm.
There are so many who don't do that. They don't expect it. Come like parenting, right? You go to that
Mm.
through a time where
Right,
they're like,
right,
"You're not respecting
exactly,
me," and it's like,
exactly.
you have to demand that respect,
Yep,
and if they don't give you that respect, I mean, it's
yes,
not your kids, you can't fire them, but you can definitely fire an employee who is, like,
right,
overstepping their bounds or not
yes,
having that respect for you and the business that you're invested in. You're 100% invested. And I have to say that a lot of what we're talking about, we've seen in shops that have recently sold. I mean, we're having a lot of new owners come in the couple
yes,
years, 2 to 3
yeah,
years, I would say. And so they're stepping into a situation where the employees maybe were already there. And and
yes,
and maybe brought
agree,
one more with them
agree,
or something, and so that, like you're saying, the
right,
chaos, the the designers think they're running the whole shop, those situations because 'cause they're like,
yeah,
"Oh, we know better than the new owner." Well, I think
yeah,
that has
yeah.
a lot to do with
I think it does too. I think it does too, which again blows my mind because, yes, you may have more experience, but you are
Yeah.
not paying the bills. You are not
Right.
signing the
Right. You don't
paychecks.
understand.
So you don't
Yeah,
make
you don't
the
understand the scope of running a
decisions.
business. You understand what you're doing right there.
No,
Part of it, you
right,
partially understand.
right. So step off,
Right.
sister. That's what I would say to him. That's what I would say to him, or
Step
brother,
off,
whoever.
step back.
Step off. Step back. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. All right, I
Okay.
think I have one more. Okay. Well, I have 2 more, but one is you're avoiding hard conversations and it costs you. It costs you money. That
Yes.
aligns with what
Mhm.
we're talking about. A lot of times they allow the quote unquote toxic employee to keep going because
Mhm.
they don't want to have this conversation. But every conversation you avoid today becomes a bigger problem and that you will have to pay for later. It just keeps going. It's a
It is, and
snowball
we've
effect,
even
right?
had Flower Click members who have had that situation right before a holiday, and the rest of the employees say, "No, get rid of them now. Get rid of them before the holiday because
Right.
you'll have a better
Right.
holiday." Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. And their team
yeah.
rallied and, production went sky high. Leadership research consistently shows that clear, direct feedback improves performance and engagement, while unclear expectations create anxiety and mistakes. That's why the hard conversations have to be had. I'm not saying every hard conversation ends in
Mm-mm. No.
termination, but hard conversations should give clear, direct feedback which will improve performance and engagement or will make the person mad and go, I don't want to do that. And then it takes care of itself because they end up leaving.
We know that clear expectations is what everybody wants, right? Whether they choose to follow those expectations. So that hard
Right.
conversation is
Exactly.
you've set the expectations. Maybe you've already done it and they're not meeting those expectations. Or that again, you're
Yeah.
clarifying, this is what I expect of
Right.
you. And if it's not done in a timely manner,
Right. I also think it saves you because that's easy for you
yes.
to document. Like you would have it written down almost like here are
Mhm.
our expectations and we went over this performance and so you have data to back
Some shops
yourself
even have
up.
them sign that document.
um
These are the expectations. This is the
yeah,
way I presented this to you. Do you understand that? And then have them
actually
sign it,
really
especially if it's a
right,
situation that you think, they're gonna come back at you for some reason or another. Yeah.
right, right. The last one I want to talk about is something that a lot of shops struggle with and they don't really say it out loud in like our shop talk groups or big groups, but they say it when I'm having one-on-ones. I think all of us struggle with this in our day to day, honestly. And what I would say to them is stop comparing yourself to
Yeah.
everybody else. Stop comparing your Instagram store to everybody else's Instagram store. So comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel and then wondering, God, my floor is so dirty. Like it's never going
Mhm.
to look like that. First of all, social media has completely distorted our view of what reality is and what success looks like. One of my favorite I'm gonna go
Okay.
back to TikTok, Vonda, because, it's where my life lives in the evenings. There is some blogger, I don't even know who she is, I don't really follow her that much, but one thing I do think is funny is she does a lot of home decor and it's soothing to me, so I'll watch her stuff. But what's funny is her husband has an account where she'll show a video of a perfectly curated guest bedroom. And I was like, oh, that's just beautiful. And then, you can click her link in bio and it takes you to all the links and you can buy everything she has and make your guest bedroom look just perfect like hers. And so you're like, oh, love it, the dream. But then her husband will come and he'll do on his account like a little video. Yeah, that's it. But the bedroom across is just filled with junk because she had to clean out. Like it's just and I'm like, oh my God, I love
Yeah.
this because
Yeah.
this is
That's true.
real. And so they're so
Mhm.
endearing to me because this
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah,
this is
this is what I have.
this is what I have. I have 2
Yep,
bedrooms like that
yep.
upstairs,
We
right?
all do.
Like, this
Yes,
is
I
me.
totally agree.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So, but they're cute and they're funny, and he's like, "Yeah, look at all these boxes I gotta go break down in the garage and all this crap and all this da 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 da," and all the anyway. But when we focus on comparing ourselves or our business, even on a personal level, me looking at wha Ellie's Instagram for her wedding and going, "My god, my wedding was so," I'm like, "Well," whatever. It was a
yeah,
different
everything was
time.
different, and
Like, you know,
everyone
everything
has
was
different
different.
situations, right? And if we start comparing ourselves to our
Right.
neighbor down our street, or I look down and I'm like, "Ooh, gosh, that's really
Exactly.
great. I should have something like that." And I'm like, Vonda, stop, just stop."
Right. Exactly. So as a business, when we do this, 2 things can happen that are very dangerous. Number 1, you start undervaluing
Yeah,
yourself, right? You start
second guessing.
second guessing, going, "Maybe I'm not as good at design. Oh my god, maybe I'm not," and all that doubt starts flooding your
Yeah,
brain, and that's never healthy. And number 2, we make reactive decisions instead of
yeah,
strategic ones. And we become these really impulsive people because I see this beautiful Instagram video from Vonda's flower shop, and, well, I gotta do something like that too. Okay, let's just do it now. Well, that wasn't strategic. I'm just reacting because I have
right.
to do it because they
Mhm.
did it. That's not gonna probably be
Well, and you don't have the same followers as that person does anyway, and everything is
no,
so different. You really can't
exactly.
compare, you know, apples to apples on that for
Right,
sure.
right. So, our shops don't have to look
Mhm,
alike. Your shop has
mhm,
to be profitable,
mhm,
sustainable, and aligned with
mhm.
your customer base, not theirs. My customer base here in the Woodlands, Texas is gonna be different than someone's flower shop
Or
in
Niceville,
Washington,
Florida.
DC,
Yep.
or Niceville,
Mhm,
Florida. Right. I mean,
mhm. Yep.
different, very different.
I love it. I love it. And when people talk about Instagram and how it needs to be perfect or they think it should be, I always think of very early on the picture of the apple that was in front of the camera. And then they put the camera in the back, and the back had big bites out of it and everything else. And it's like, hmm, see, they're showing you perfection, but truly the rest of the story
Yep.
is maybe it is the chaos that we're trying to get away from, those
Yeah,
kind of things. So I
100%.
always think of that. I'm like, which do you want? Do you want that
That's funny.
perfection when I'm comparing myself to that
Right.
perfection that I see, not knowing that there's imperfections in every single person and everything. It's just,
Yep.
focusing on the good. But anyway, comparison is something that takes us down a spiral. Oof,
What do they say? Comparison is the
oof,
thief
that's
of
true.
joy?
I don't know, but I like that.
Feel like my grandma used to always say that, "Comparison
I
is the
like that.
thief of
Yeah.
joy."
Mm.
That's true. It really is when we go through life constantly looking at what others have and we don't. Like, it also, I would say,
It is
it's
exhausting, and
exhausting.
what it also robs us the joy that we should feel for other people. I mean, because
Yeah,
I see people get
yeah,
something new or have an achievement, and I am so stinking proud of them and happy for them, where if
right.
I was comparing myself to
Uh-huh.
that person, I'd be like,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I I have one story and then I know we'll 'cause we're running past your time, but I remember this was probably 28 years ago. I mean, a long time ago. So I lived here in Texas, but I lived in a different neighborhood back then, and our kids were really small, and I was really good friends with 2 ladies, one of them which I'm still good friends with, and one had since moved away, praise the Lord. So, anyway, the 3 of us were good friends, and one was just kind of, I think, struggled with comparison, but I didn't really know that. I didn't know what it was. I was very young and had 2 little kids, but the one friend that I'm so good friends with, she and her husband bought a beach house
mm,
in Galveston. I mean, they were doing very well, and, we were all very young, fairly newly married. We were all in the same Sunday school class, and so we all went over to her house one night for dinner, and they were telling us, and I was just like, "Woohoo! We at a beach house!" Like, I was so excited because I knew
Right.
I'm going to this beach. I was so excited because I wasn't gonna be able to afford a beach house, but my best friend had a beach house. I'm going, and she was like, "Yes, and you can help me decorate it." And our kids were all the same age, and we were going. And the other friend, like, changed. She just kind of flipped, and she was like, "Huh,
And did she, like,
interesting."
not say a
So
whole lot?
not really, but then she kept making, like, little underhanded remarks about, like, our other friends. Anyway, I don't wanna go into but I look back now, and I'm like, "Wow, there was
It's yeah.
jealousy, clearly, but it was this
Mm.
comparison that one friend was constantly comparing
Mm.
herself to the others as far as lifestyle, and I wasn't stupid. I was just naive, and I
Mm-mm.
wasn't raised that way. I was raised, should we just be happy for when
Yeah.
other people get stuff? Because maybe they'll share. I don't know, you know? And so it wasn't until later that I don't know, I just think about that a lot, and I think about how she just robbed herself from so much joy and so much fun the
Yeah.
rest of us
Yeah.
had. Because they literally opened that beach house up to, like, our whole Sunday school class, and, like, whoever wanted to come, they
Mhm.
just shared it
Mhm.
with everyone because that's what they are
Sure.
lovely people,
But isn't that interesting?
and
It
that's
probably took a number of years because we're at a certain part in our life when we don't understand that, because that's not the way we were raised. And then all of a sudden you're like,
uh-uh,
"Oh,
uh-uh, right,
that was a strange reaction." But
right, right. I don't think I had the
yeah,
language for it then. I knew it
yeah,
was
yeah,
bizarre,
right?
but I didn't cognitively go, "Hmm, she struggles with comparison." Like, there's some deep-seated things here, but it is what it is. I think about that, and it makes me
Yeah,
sad
yeah.
for her.
Well, I hope we didn't upset anyone with our hard truths today, Lori.
Yes. I hope not because it wasn't
No,
to anyone
mm-mm,
specific,
no, just in
just
general.
in
Hopefully, maybe
general.
somebody could learn.
So now maybe we've just made the whole industry mad.
I
It's
don't think
fine.
you could ever do
It's
that,
fine.
Lori.
It's all good. No, I don't know. You never know. All right, I gotta go
Okay,
refill my coffee
till
cup.
next week.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us because we enjoy spending time with you. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button or add the business and pleasure of flowers to your Google morning routine or your flash briefing on Alexa. We look forward to seeing you next week.
So please come back and join us and discover how a bit of knowledge and one small change in your mindset can take you to new levels in your life and business.